Hopefully that won't blow over. So this is my 1998, it's done it already. So this is my 1998 Porsche Boxster. And after the electric folding roof broke on the test drive before I bought it, and then we converted it to manual, so many people have said, oh, it's easy to fix, all you got to do is this and this and this. And I come back with, well, actually it's better to be a manual because of this and this and this. So in this video, I'm going to explain why I think it's better to have your Porsche Boxster folding roof manual, not electric. And then if you then decide that that is a good idea, how to convert it to a manual folding roof. So to rewind a tiny bit, I bought this a few months ago, and on the test drive, we went to go and do the roof. And as this like cover bit came down on top of the roof, once it had all folded out, there was a pop, and one of the arms had come off one of the motors. And Smithy Jr., a guy I bought it from, a mate of mine, said, oh, when we get back, I'll show you how to do it. We got halfway through trying to fix it, and I said to him, if this happens while I'm out and about and I haven't got any tools, how can I fix it? Because I've got an MX-5, which has got no funky mechanism, no electric folding roof, and from the driver's seat, I can go clip, clip, and chuck the roof back. There's no cover, there's no electric, like, origami that needs to happen. And he said, shall I just make it a manual? And I was like, yeah, because I didn't even know that was a thing. So, because he was halfway through fixing it, it was only an extra like 5 or 10 minutes actually just to take the motors and the extra bits out to then make it a manual folding roof, which then to me has been beneficial. What I don't want from a convertible car, bearing in mind this is now nearly 30 years old, is that every time I touch the electric button, I'm unsure whether it's going to come down or whether it's going to come back up again. I have the roof down on this most of the time, even on short journeys. There's so many people that drive around with convertible cars that are in the sunshine with the roof up, and I don't know whether that's either because the roof's broken or because they think, well, I'm only doing a short journey, it's not worth putting the roof down. And I never want to think that. I never want to think the car's nearly 30 years old. Is one of the arms going to pop off the mechanism again? Is an electric motor going to get stuck? Is a fuse going to blow? I don't want to put extra wear on the motors just for a short journey. Now I've disconnected everything, I'd never need to think that. It always works. I can always put the roof up. I can always put the roof down. It also sounds horrible when the roof is folded. The sound of the electric motor, the strain on it sounds awful. You hold the button down, it's like, and it literally sounds like it's going to break at any moment. It sounded awful. Another benefit is that I can do the roof while the key's still in my pocket. I can open the door, fold the roof, and get in without having to put the key in the ignition, without having to make sure the handbrake is on. I've still got to reach in and undo the latch that's under here when the roof's shut, but I can drop the roof with the engine off, with the keys out of the ignition. So for the ease of getting in, especially if you're old and a bit broken like me, and especially if you've got bucket seats, then you can drop the roof and then it's easier to get in. I'm sure when these were brand new, no one was thinking, when I press the electric roof button, is or isn't the roof going to work? But now these are nearly 30 years old, it's a genuine concern, which is the other reason I've disconnected it all. So just to show you all the potential fail areas of where this can not work. So there's a micro switch under here, which when the roof is shut, the handle bit pushes that up in the air. There's a micro switch in the handbrake because the handbrake has to be on, otherwise that's not going to work. There's a big kind of double fuse relay up underneath the dash. There's obviously a switch in the switch. Up under here, if I lift that out of the way, there's a micro switch here. And in the B pillar, this side, there's another little micro switch down in there. If any one of those micro switches doesn't work, your roof's not going anywhere. If any have broken, a wire snapped, the actual switch isn't making contact, even if it's got power going to it and it's just a faulty switch, your roof's not going anywhere. Also, you'll end up with a light on the dash to say your roof's like inactive or it's trying to go somewhere, and it's not. And I will never have that because all the roof has been disconnected. Another benefit is if you need to put the roof in service mode. The engine is under here. So what you need to do is unclip the roof, half press the button and wait until it's in exactly the right place from the driver's seat and get out and make sure it's in the right place, and then unclip some bits in the back and stop the roof exactly where you need to. But I don't need to because it's disconnected. So I can have it in service mode and literally have the roof wherever I want. It's literally as easy as that. He also explained to me you've got to stop the roof halfway when it's opening anyway to do the Boxster chop on the back window, because it's a big Perspex back window. Otherwise it creases when it folds up. And then when you pull the roof back up, it doesn't sit in the channels either side. I'll show you in a minute. So I'm like, well, if I've got to get out halfway through the procedure up and down, surely it's actually quicker to make it manual. And he's like, yeah, 100%. I was like, let's do it. So for anyone wondering about the process, how to put the roof up and down in manual mode, it's as easy as this. First of all, put your hands under the cover, lift it up, lift it out of the way. Next step, pull the roof over. Now, you'll see here that the roof doesn't clip into, it's really hard to do this with one hand, but these bits, these sides of the roof need to sit into that channel. That needs to happen both sides, like so. Then once it's down, I either have both doors open or I drop the windows an inch, because otherwise this bit of like rubber trim is coming down and trying to sit on the windows, which when you do this electrically, as soon as you press the button, the first thing that happens is the windows drop an inch. So if I'm parked up and I'm doing it all from one side, I literally just drop the windows an inch. If I'm walking away and leaving it, because I've got to put the roof in that channel anyway, then I'll just come around and open the other door. Then this handle, this hook has to sit into there, but you can just do it all from grabbing the handle. Literally pull that down. The roof is now shut. Then shut that door, come around to the other side, shut the door, and then drop the roof. Done. And despite what people think, this does not fly up while you're driving along. You've actually got to get your hand in there and kind of lift it up a little bit. That does not go anywhere. Then to put the roof down again, it's the opposite, but actually a little bit easier, because you don't need to drop the windows because the roof's going away from the windows. If the roof's coming up on top of the windows, you obviously need to get the windows out of the way, either by dropping them or opening them. To put the roof down, lift the cover back up, reach inside, press the handle, hook that out of the way, then I lift on this, like the front bit of the roof here, and you'll see this is starting to crease. So you've got to do your Boxster chop. That's still not that great, but it's not bad. Drop that, and then you're in and away. Now, for anyone thinking of changing their electric roof to a manual roof, there's a couple of things that you need to do. So these are the two bits that you need to take off either side. Basically just like pop these ball joint arms off of the roof and off of the cover. Undo the big bolt that's in the middle of there. So there's one of these each side, and they are buried down in here. So if you pop this off, if you get through halfway doing the operating procedure, you'll be able to get your hand down in there, undo the big bolt that goes through the middle, pop the two arms off either side, hook these out. At that point, this is all then disconnected and is free flowing. However, the roof still thinks that it's halfway through doing its operating procedure, which was the problem that I found. So when the roof was all the way up and this micro switch in here was pushed in with the hook on the handle, then it knew that my roof was shut. When the roof was down, as soon as that was the micro switch was not pushed in, it then didn't know what was happening. It drops the windows a little bit to allow for the roof to operate, and the light comes on the dash to say that the roof's halfway through doing its operating procedure. Even when this was all the way down and the micro switch at the back was pushed in and the micro switch was pushed in, it still didn't know what was happening, and I still had the gap here and I still had the light on the dash. Messed around with it for months and months and months, and the easiest fix that I found on some forum was underneath there on the driver's side, or it's on the right hand side, I don't know if it's still on the driver's side on the left hand drive, is a great big double relay. There's the only one there. There's other like small square relays. This one's a big rectangular relay. I pulled that relay out. As soon as I did that, the light went out on the dash and my windows went all the way up to the top. My next worry was that the windows weren't going to move at all when I open and close the door with the roof up. First time I opened the door, the windows dropped as they should. So that's obviously on a different circuit. So if you're thinking about doing it, that's all you need to do. I hope that's helped dissuade you from having a manual electric roof. Also, that might have helped you if you've had any electric roof trouble. If your roof's not working and you don't know why, those are all the things to check. Those are all the micro switches to check. And bottom line is, I just think make it a manual roof. You don't want to be in the position, I don't think you should be in the position where you're not sure whether to have the roof down because you're only going a short distance, or you don't want to put extra wear on the motors and all that sort of stuff. I'm literally driving 3 miles home in a minute. It's taken me 2 seconds to drop the roof. I've still got the key in my pocket. I haven't put any wear on anything. Literally drop the roof and then just jump straight in. When I get home, it's easy to pull the roof back up once I've switched it all off. It's so easy. When the sun is like this, there is no chance that I'm driving my convertible Porsche with the roof up. Hope you found that interesting. Any questions, any things that I've missed out, leave a comment in the comment section, and I'll see you on the next one.